Hi everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I thought I would take you through the Ohuhu coloured markers. So this here is the 120 set which was purchased from Amazon, and I have it in the storage container that's also an Ohuhu brand, and that is also available from Amazon, and I'll have it linked below. I've chosen to get the markers that are the brush on one side like this, and then on the opposite side it is the bullet point. I liked that because I liked colouring with the bullet point more so than the big chisel part. So in the kit you do get the protection sheet, so you put that under your paper so that the ink can't bleed through, and it works really well. I used it through this testing and the ink did come out onto the back of it. So this is where I'll be storing my pens, and let's get into the colour testing. As you can see here, I already started to do the colour swatches, and then I realised that I probably should record it. So here we are. And what I've done is on half the side I have chosen to do just one colour of it, and then I will go over the other side multiple times just to get that layering effect, so that in the future I can go back and see how the colour layers on itself and how the colour changes if it is laid on itself. I've gone and used the colour swatch sheets that have been provided within the kit, and I do really like them. The colour names are written there along with their colour numbers, and I do find that really useful. If you do happen to buy these textures, I do recommend doing the swatching. I will highlight in the video on a few occasions where the name of the colour does not equate to the colour that you swatched, and to that point does the cap correlate, and I'll take you through this later on once we come up to one of the ones that is a problem. I feel like there was only maybe 3 or 4, but it's just interesting to note that the name of the colour is not representative to what that colour actually is. The 120 set gives you a multitude of colours. I do feel that it is a bit yellow heavy, and the numbering doesn't really make sense, because with the yellows they've got some browns, they've got some oranges, and then you'll see later on that they've put pinks within purples, a pink within the greys. Numbering system is a little bit hit and miss, so that's also adding into some of the confusion. Overall, the textures are really good. This is my second lot of Ohuhu markers. I purchased the pastel set, which I will show at the end of this video, and the pastel set is it's a 48 pen set, and together with the 120 that creates their 160. So I got the pastels because I knew that I'd use the pastels for a multitude of things. I wasn't sure that I would use the textures as a whole, so I didn't want to spend that kind of money. And then when I really liked the pastels, I have then wanted to complete my collection, and the best way to do that is to buy them in the increments. It does, of course, overall cost a lot more money to do it that way. However, I can just purchase them at my leisure and when I want to get them. So as I said, this is the 120 set that I'm swatching. I have the 48 pastel set, which completes the 168 set. And then to complete their 320 set, you would then go to purchase the 104, and then you would purchase the 48 set. So I'm just going to play some music now so that you can watch the rest of the colours being swatched, and I'll be right back. So I was just showing you there the cap of that pink one. It is called light purple, I believe. So this color here, it says that it is purple. It is not. It is pink. Those two together look very similar, but it's just because of the ring light, those 3 colors, I guess, in that little L shape, but they are different. Not much, but there is a color tonal difference. But this is where the names of the colors do start to not represent the actual color that is swatched. So as I said before, if you do happen to buy Ohuhu markers, any markers really, do swatch them out, because you will find that sometimes either what they're called or the color of the lid is misrepresentative to the actual color that you're going to receive. So you'll start to see what I was talking about in regards to the colours not really matching together. So we've got some blues amongst all of these colours, and yet they're meant to be purples. But then we've got purples mixed in with this section where purple doesn't really fit in yet. So I'm not sure how a 320 swatch catalogue would go. They're not in any type of order in regards to colouring for their numbers. So that does make it a little bit more confusing. Even, for example, R17 is a purple, but P5 is also a purple, but they don't sit together. They're in the reds for the R and P for the pinky purples. So it's a bit confusing. I'm just going to continue on with the swatching, and I'll just play some background music so that you can get an overall picture as to the colours. So we're almost done with the colour swatching. As you can see, we have a random pink here at the end. I've got no idea why. I did also get a bit confused with these darker colours here because they do look so similar to the black, but there is that slight variation to the colouring, which is nice for shading. And there's just an overview of the colours that you get within the 120 pack. This here is the 48 set of the pastels, and I just wanted to give you a preview as to how those swatched on their swatch card, just to see how they differ from the ones that we did receive amongst the 120 pack. And you can tell that they are different. This is what it looks like in the set when you do get it. And then here is a side-by-side comparison of some of the colours that kind of look a bit dupey. So they do look the same as what is included in the 120 kit. I did do some playing around with them on some colouring pages that I had. And I will say that there is a slight difference on some of the ones that I've compared with the colouring. And then others are similar. Would I say that they are a double? Possibly, but overall it's value for money. It's better than the Copics in the sense of price. Copics work out to be about $12 or over $12 each pen, whereas these sets here you are having to buy a whole pack of pens rather than just buying the individuals. However, it works out to be less than about $1 something per pen, so it does work out to be value for money. They are ridiculously smooth. They are really nice, and I do really, really like the brush tip with the bullet at the other end. But yeah, overall, it's really, really nice. Here's a overview of the colors all together so that you can see what the contents of the 168 Ohuhu kit would be if you were to purchase that. And as I said, if you wanted to go ahead and complete your set after doing what I've done, you would then go and purchase the 104 set, and then you would go and purchase the other Pastel 48 set. I think that they're value for money. They work really, really nice, and they're definitely value for money. So this is the book that you get with the markers. It shows you how to complete all of your sets. I've marked off the colors that I have just so that I could make sure that they were there. There's some instances where people haven't received all of the colors that they were meant to, but mine worked out to be perfectly fine. And this is the color house for the whole collection of Ohuhu markers. So if you were to get their 320 set, you would own most of these colors. I think with the exception of the skin tone packs, I do believe that those ones is separate, which are the browns and possibly the blacks that are there. Those would be a completely different arrangement of pens that you would need to buy. But yeah, this is my review of the Ohuhu alcohol ink markers. Thanks guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Okay, bye guys.